Head coach for Chamberlain Cubs.
A good mix of older leadership and then young girls, so it'll be an exciting
for summer where you've really been able to get the kids to the camps and kind of a year-round deal.
Oh yeah, whatever we had going on, which was great to see. A lot of them did the weightlifting program.
Team's going to match up. Obviously, you're going to have some good size. You've got some familiar.
More sound this year. We've got really good leadership with our older kids, so I think it's going to be a good mix, and I think they're ready for.
And they're part of your region as well, and it's not too many. So I think this is going to be a fun matchup of two teams that are kind of on the right.
Where I thought maybe we were going to
and some live competition
about that all week, just positive.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
Here offers superior skills and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future. Call 224-8803. May Adam.
Head coach of the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, coach third year as the head coach here at Stanley County.
Here we have a new group pretty much. We have 3 returners. So we got a new bunch, which is fun to see, but also a learning.
Part of every year you lose some kids to graduation, and you might have some kids back, but because of graduation, you've got to put them in different spots. So, I mean, it's like starting over every season when you go to work here in late August.
For sure. We put a lot of time in this position-wise where people were at, but, when it comes down to it, you just had to
that the seasons are year-round, but they really had it, and it is a year-round thing.
For the cases, so I mean, there's injury prevention and all that good stuff. So it definitely is year-round if they want to be dedicated.
6A, I mean, you kind of look at things. Platte Geddes has got a solid program. They're going to be good year after year. They're new to your region.
Come down to, and I'm just going to tell them in the huddle this afternoon that's how it's going to be. You got to set the tone now, and this is how the season's.
Time to go out and play for real here. So you want to see some different competition, but there's going to be some bumps in the road, and you just got to be able to manage luck.
Thank you so much.
DJ Dragosette of the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. That is our Keys to Success segment from the folks at May Adam. And we'll be back in.
And ranching equipment. Serving the Midwest, and better yet, we've built our business on serving. Visit us at Farm.
You guessed it. You'll like our large selection of beverages.
Plus funding and vision support.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day and stronger. We're Heality every day and stronger. We're here for you, orthopedics, and here for you, orthopedics. And
5 Reliance Chamberlain.
The Chamberlain Cubs, they will start.
5 Reliance Chamberlain.
The Chamberlain Cubs, they will start as follows. Joey Vandenbosch, a 5'6" junior. Jaden McWork, a 5'5" freshman. A 5'6" junior. Jaden McWork, a 5'5" freshman. And Nicole Peterson, a 5'9" senior. And we will see Sadie Herman, a 5'9" senior. And we will see Sadie Herman, a 5'3" Saudi Lady Buffaloes. They will start out with Brianna Sargent, a 5'8" senior. Buffaloes. They will start out with Brianna Sargent, a 5'8" senior. Austin Noffmore, and Carly Brady, a 5'3" junior. Timber Hansen is Carly Brady, a 5'3" junior. Timber Hansen is getting their season underway tonight. And their head coach is T. James for you tonight. And their head coach is T. James for you this week. Thursday night, we will be get ready for the Labor Day weekend with high school. Thursday night, we will be get ready for the Labor Day weekend with high school football. Central time is the scheduled kickoffs on the floor, and that has been our bank.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bad pest problems? Do you have a pest problem? Got bad pest problems? Places across South Dakota. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest.
Do you want to join?
There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest.
Do you want to join one of the oldest established organizations in Fort Pierre? Your protection in Fort Pierre and established organizations in Fort Pierre. Your protection in Fort Pierre and Stanley County. Students ages 14 to 18. For more information, click on our.
You have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers in the country. So farmers own the system. CHS and the farmers in the country. So farmers own the systems. We create.
Cantina Coffee Shop. Oasis Pump and Pack in
Catanoa-Coma. It's the region's only full-service Bobcat deal. About even more cash offers, but hurry, they absolutely end August 31st. Visit RiverviewFamily.com. Cat deals around.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Picture. They're here to help you with your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trun. That's two. They're here to help you with your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trun. That's 23450.
Down to the right corner and gives Chamberlain now a 3-1 lead as the Cubs serve it up once again. And now the serve across. That serve is long from Ainsley Hall. And the first service error of the night for Chamberlain. The side out back to the as they work it back the other way. Maisie Peterson attacks. Stanley County works the return the other way. The Cubs are there for the block. Peterson and also number 8, Amelia LaPointe, were in the area. Let's give the block to LaPointe, the 5'6" junior, with her first stat of the season, 4-2. Chamberlain leading, side out back to the Cubs, and throughout this opening set, as we've had 6 points scored, it has been by Stanley County, back to the Chamberlain, Stanley County, and excuse me, here comes, and we'll see Natalie Nelson, who started. She is back out there as they rotate back to the front row, and here the things is 4 as Chamberlain has now scored, Stanley County has scored 2 in a row to tie things. Lady Buffaloes looking for their first lead of the night as the serve works across. Here is Spear with the return the other way. 5-4. Chamberlain with the advantage now as Stanley County serve. And now Stanley County will hit it wide and out of bounds. Again, the right idea. And again, we'll see that in this opening match of the season for both of these teams. Right idea where to place it. Chamberlain saw that Stanley County's defense was a little bit out of alignment, but the shot was just out past the sideline by about a good 1.5 feet or so. And here's Mila Keefe in for Stanley County to serve. Back row, it's Herman. Working it forward, Vanden Bosch the other way. That's a nice attack there. But Hansen will run it down. Stanley County at the net. They'll try to keep it alive. Nelson with the dig. Now from the back row, a free ball from Chamberlain is across. Stanley County will set it up. Recovery there. Just some miscommunication. You take it. No, you got it. And it winds up getting hit short. And a hitting error for Chamberlain. That's for Stanley County. Their first of the night. And again, after we were tied, Chamberlain back out in front. It's 6-5 Cubs. Chamberlain looks to put it in play. Vanden Bosch with the serve, and that is long and out of bounds. Chamberlain's second service error of the night to tie things at 6. And again, Stanley County, who again will go to their bench. We'll see into much traction as far as their serve is concerned. Deal the second of the night for Stanley County. And the Lady Buffaloes with their first lead of the night at 7-6. And then Addie Deal will look to serve it up once again. The overhand to the back row. Vanden Bosch will receive it as they work it forward, and a quick little bump there across from Nicole Schmidt. Stanley County at the net. They'll hammer it, but it's blocked by Natalie Nelson. And now Stanley County will regroup and push it back the other way. Nice set here for Nelson, who will push back row, and it's long and out of bounds. Row. You see, the 3-point error number 2 for Stanley County on the night. The lead belongs to Stanley County. They lead 9-7, but it is Chamberlain who will work to put it in play. And this is Sadie Herman who will serve, and that serve is wide and out of bounds. So Chamberlain one and done. Stanley County pushes the lead back to 3 as Jerea Walker works to the back line and serve. The high loop will take a timeout. 10-7.
It's a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs too wet or just don't want those 248-23.
Walker's kind of counting it across, and it's off the front top lip of the net and sent back. Another hitting error for the Lady Buffaloes. Another point for Chamberlain. They have gotten within 2. It's 11-9 Stanley County. McQuirk again, this time a low line drive serve, and that will be an ace as Brianna Sargent tried to get a dig or a bump on it, and it winds up going wide and out of bounds. For Chamberlain, that's their first service ace of the night, and it's scored by the 5'5" freshman Jade McQuirk. McQuirk again will serve, this time a real looping serve, and Stanley County handles it well. They took them a moment to get in position to recover, bump that forward, but Brecken Huebner with a nice spin move is able to swing it back down for the kill. Side out Stanley County. It's 12-10. Serving is Carly Brady for the Lady Buffaloes. Chamberlain working it forward. They have had trouble getting the ball to the net. Stanley County will get it here to Huebner, but the pass just a little bit crossed with the left hand and hit it short. The hitting error for Stanley County and a point for Chamberlain, but Stanley County of late has been able to get the ball to the net. Now Chamberlain with a nice serve, but Stanley County will run it down and return it. Here is another nice play at the net for Stanley County as they were able to retrieve it back row, push it forward, and a nice pass this time for Huebner to handle, and she pushes it across and down. 14-12 Stanley County, and here is Chamberlain with the return of Sturz. Stanley County will set. Over the top of the defense, the Lady Buffaloes, that's Addie Deal, and that's across and down. And Addie Deal will score her first kill of the night. 15-12 Stanley County. Austin Norman will continue and serve for the Lady Buffaloes. The overhand, a little bit of side spin, gets across. Herman with the receive, and now a bad pass that Chamberlain can't handle, and it gets into the net. Hitting error for Chamberlain, their fifth of the night. And another point for Stanley County, this time a 4-point advantage, which I think matches their biggest lead of the evening. Norman will look to serve once again. Again, not hitting it hard as she pushes it the other way. Again, hard to handle, though, as the receive back row, a little too for Chamberlain. It's at 17-12. Let's break for 30 seconds.
School children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Another Agtegra timeout. 17-12 is our score. The lead belongs to the Stanley County Buffaloes, the Lady Buffaloes. After Chamberlain was able to get the lead early at Stanley County, that has been able to do it not just with their defense, but their offense has done a good job as well. Austin Norman again in serve, and this time right in front of Sadie Herman, and that is an ace. Austin Norman, her first ace of the night. Stanley County has had 3 in the Bosch with the receive the other way, and here now is Chamberlain. As they get it across Stanley County at the net, they'll hammer the other way and across and down. And putting it home there, Stanley County. Ball gets away and into the catacombs here of Parkview Gym, into the Stanley County, actually the Chamberlain locker room, but Austin Norman runs it down. Now she will serve. Again, Chamberlain with trouble in the receive game, but this time they'll clear it across. Stanley County will set. Here's an overhand shot from Addie Deal. Chamberlain will dig out. Herman has the free ball from the back row. She gets it across. Here's Timber Hansen with the dig. Back row, it's Norman. Again, she'll push to the back line. Herman moving it forward. Vanden Bosch, and it's off the antenna and out of bounds. Had a little volley play back and forth, but in the end, another hitting error for Chamberlain. It gives the point to Austin Norman, and it's 20-12. Norman again will serve. Back out front. Here is an attack from Chamberlain, blocked by Stanley County. Back to the Chamberlain side. Vanden Bosch with a hustle play, but then bounces off the stanchion. That's going to be a net violation for Chamberlain, I believe. But now Vanden Bosch is going to go over and talk to the net official, Todd Sandel. Did not get under the net, bounced off the pad. So technically, if you want to be nitpicky, did not get into the net, but they will let the net violation stand. Point for Stanley County, and it is now 21-12. Stanley County serves to Chamberlain. Again, the Cubs not able to do a lot. Maisie Peterson with a free ball. Stanley County will set for Huebner. She will push the other way. The dig made by Chamberlain, but Jaden McQuirk's shot goes wide and out of bounds. Another kill for Brecken Huebner, and that is her 4th of the set, and it's 22-12. Austin Norman serving once again. At the net it comes. Here is Vanden Bosch attacking, and it is blocked. But down this time, and Jovi Vanden Bosch will score the point. That ends the rally, and that was a long side out for Stanley County as they now lead by a 22-12 score Austin Norman was in serve for a long time, as she will head to the bench. Stanley County will do a little few substitutions as Carly Brady checks back in. Also, Brianna Sargent back in. And Chamberlain serving. And that is Trey Spear, and her serve will go into the net. 23-13. Chamberlain is out of timeouts in this opening set, as the Lady Buffaloes look to serve. This is Brecken Hubner to the back row. Kind of a low looping serve. It just grazes the net. Return comes from Stanley County, or from Chamberlain, but then Stanley County has trouble pushing it back across. They can get a couple hits on it. Point will belong to Chamberlain, but Stanley County still in the driver's seat in this opening set, leading by a 23-14 score. And serving for Chamberlain is Jada Brown. And that is going to be an ace. Jada Brown will score the ace, 23-15. Away. Hansen with the receive of serve. Nice attack by Stanley County the other way. Chamberlain will set. It's Vandenbosch with a hard hit ball, and that's across and down. And last couple points, 2 of the last 3 anyway, have came from Chamberlain, doing a good job of getting to the net with a nice pass and letting their hitters do work. Chamberlain still trails by 7, though, but are still in the game as the serve here is wide and out of bounds. Another service error will make it game point for Stanley County, as again more substitutions, and checking in will be the sophomore Mila Keefe, as she will serve out, or try to serve out, a victory for Stanley County. Keefe with the serve the other way. Back row, Nicole Schmidt. They move it forward. This is Nelson with the attack across. Good play made by Chamberlain after it was hit by Jerea Walker. They're going to say it is up into the net. The attack by Nelson got back and down on the Stanley County side, but they are going to give the point to Stanley County, and the Lady Buffaloes will win by a 25-16 score. And our scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to check out my large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page. Shop online anytime at DarrenBoyleSales.com. We'll go to set number 2 in 2 minutes on KPLO.
Xander Auto Parts, the only.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
What if we said...
Did not kills on the in that opening, so could not get the ball where it needed to be for some good attacks. Chamberlain had the bigs, but it was Stanley finds themselves down 1-0 as Stanley County will get set number 2 underway. And we'll make sure that the alignments are set, rotations are set. And this is Carly Brady putting it in play for Stanley County, and the overhand is wide and out of bounds. 4th service error of the night for Stanley County. And Chamberlain with an early lead. Cubs with Jade McQuirk serving, 5'5" freshman. Ready to put set number 2 in play, and a whistle and a rotation violation on Chamberlain. And those are the things that you kind of expect to see early. The rotation violations, we mentioned hitting errors. Communication, especially in the back row, as we got into a couple long volleys. Both teams had a little bit of trouble with that in the opening set as well. Here's Chamberlain with a nice set. The attack from Peterson, blocked by Hubner. Back to the Stanley County side. Here's Hubner with a hard hit ball, and that's across and down. Reckon Hubner had the opportunity to grip it and rip it there, and she slapped it hard through the Chamberlain block attempt and down for a point. That's kill number 5 on the night. And it is 2-1 Stanley County. Austin Norman again serving. Here is Chamberlain. They have trouble at the net, but they're able to get it over the net and down, and Chamberlain will take points as where they can, as Jade McQuirk will score the kill. It grazed the net, kind of hung on the net for just a split second, but dropped down on the Stanley County side. And again, a kill is the point there. And now Chamberlain serving, and Nicole Schmidt with the serve that will go into the net. 3rd service error, make that the 7th service error for Chamberlain. Go along with 10 hitting errors so far. Reckon Hubner serving as the overhand goes the other way. Here is Herman with the receive. Back up top, Chamberlain the other way, and that's a nice attack play made there by Amelia LaPointe. She was able to get some kills early in the opening set when Chamberlain was able to stretch out that early advantage. But again, the offense was quiet for Chamberlain. LaPointe with her 3rd kill of the match so far. And here is Chamberlain with the serve back across. Back row, Stanley County moving it forward. Jerea Walker with the overhand, and that is long and out of bounds. Hitting error for Stanley County, and that's their 6th of the evening. 4-3, Chamberlain with the advantage. Early points of set number 2. We'll play 3 out of 5 here at Parkview Gym tonight. Back row to Hansen. Here is Walker with a nice play. Chamberlain will dig it out. Natalie Nelson the other way. Stanley County with the attack. That one is off the net and back, and 4 hits for Stanley County. Another hitting error for them, and another point for Chamberlain. Cubs have pushed the advantage to 2. It is now 5-3. Serving is Trey Spear. The overhand is across. Here's Stanley County at the net. Nice pass and an opportunity there. Addie Deal will push the other way, but Chamberlain with a nice dig. Nelson across, and that's through the defense and down. Natalie Nelson with a nice hit them where they ain't play, and it's the first kill of the night for the 5'9" junior. 6-3 Chamberlain getting things going here in this second set. Spears serving once again. Back row Stanley County. Little trouble. They'll have to free ball it across. Walker gets the job done. Here is Chamberlain the other way. Again, it is Nelson working the center of that front row, pushing it the other way. Stanley County with no traction, but they free ball back to the Cubs side. This is Spear with a 2-hand push. Back to the Lady Buffaloes. They'll push the other way and down the line. That's a good shot. And that's a point for Addie Deal. Right down the left sideline, she scores the kill, which is her 3rd of the night. And that ends Chamberlain's run. Stanley County is within 2. It is 6-4. Lady Buffaloes will send Mila Keefe back in to serve. As Keefe will overhand across. That's a nice line drive serve. And Mila Keefe will score the ace, the 5'8" sophomore. Just put a little bit extra on it, and I have said over the years, if you want to be able to have success at this level in volleyball, I think that's one of the best things you can do is just vary speeds, kind of like a junk ball pitcher, if you will. Vary the speeds and different angles and different spins. And Mila Keith puts it in play. Chamberlain with the return, but at the net. The Lady Buffaloes doing work. This time, it is Carly Brady who gets it across and down for a kill. It is now 6-6. And again, a little bit different look and serve from Keith. And now Chamberlain trying to push it the other way. Stanley County cannot get it through, and I think that'll be a kill for Natalie Nelson, her second here in this second set. Chamberlain is back out in front by a 7-6 score. Brianna Sargent back in for Stanley County, and for Chamberlain, this is Jada Brown serving. Working here in the second set, things at 7, side out back to Stanley County. And for the Lady Buffaloes, the sophomore Addie Deal, get ready to put it in play. Deal with the serve back across. Herman with the receive. The libero. Now it is Nelson the other way. And Natalie did not handle the best pass, but she caught the defense of Stanley County a little bit flat-footed there. And she was able to just kind of hit the ball where it wasn't. Not a hard hit ball, but well placed. And Chamberlain gets the point. They're back out in front. And here is Chamberlain serving once again. And Jovi Vandenbosch will hit it long and out of bounds. 8-8 is our score. Neither team so far in the second set has been able to really get things rolling much as far as one of those long scoring runs like we saw in the opening set. Timber Hansen serving for Stanley County. Here's Nelson the other way. Nice dig by the Lady Buffaloes. Norman will try to push it across and will hit it short. And the hitting error will give the point to Chamberlain. So the Cubs lead 9-8. Norman trying to hit it across with the left hand. Maybe pass not quite as good, but Norman still trying to make the play. Puts it into the net, not out of bounds. As the Cubs serve it up once again. Hansen back row with the set. Hubner with the two-hand push the other way. And here is a quick return from Chamberlain. Stanley County will push it back. Now Chamberlain will set things up. They'll attack. Nicole Schmidt hammers the other way. Back row dig from Stanley County. Free ball from Norman across for the Lady Buffaloes. Chamberlain will set again. It's Maisie Peterson pushing it back the other way. Here's Hubner, mistimed the jump. Peterson got a hand on it. Now Chamberlain scrambling, and a free ball from the back row as they get it back to the Stanley County side. Nice play by Norman as she pushes it deep into the Chamberlain area, but they were able to regroup and push it back. Here is Hubner. Chamberlain will set. Up top it comes, and a shot blocked. The defensive play made there for Carly Brady. It was Nicole Schmidt who had lines on being able to push it across, but Brady was there with the block, and she knocks it down, and it's 9-9. We are tied once again. And the junior Carly Brady serves it up. Here is Chamberlain back row set for Maisie Peterson. Maisie will hit it short. 10-9, Stanley County leading, and a timeout taken by the Cubs. And we'll take it with them. It comes to you from Agtegra, who remind you Acres Ahead maximizes your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. Let's break for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Bank isn't a place to lock up money. It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
The Corner Station Convenience.
We will have the Player of the Game award. Someplace to be. Big play of the game from the folks at Golden Buffalo as well. And we are still on the lookout for that. 10-9 Stanley County. Lady Buffaloes won the opening set 25-16. as it is Carly Brady who will serve out of the Chamberlain timeout. Cubs will push it back across. Here are the Lady Buffaloes. This is Brecken Hubner with a left-handed attack. Dig made. Chamberlain will push it back. Now Stanley County with the return. Brady has ran a long way, but is able to get it back across. Here is Chamberlain. Tipped at the net by the Lady Buffaloes. They will work to send it back across, and here's Chamberlain. Back across it comes. Stanley County. Brady clearing from the back line. Back up top. Nice misdirection on the set. It is Jade McQuirk who sends it over the head of the front line of the Stanley County defense and down for a kill after a long back-and-forth volley. Chamberlain prevails to tie things at 10 as, again, substitutions. And for Chamberlain, Amelia Lapointe will come back in and go to work on the front row. Here's Stanley County off the serve, having a little trouble with the reserve game. Hansen made the receive. That kind of went awry. Stanley County tried to regroup. Brianna Sargent ran the play down, but then hit it out of bounds. And Chamberlain with the lead. Here is another tough serve to handle. Stanley County gets a couple hits on it, but cannot move it forward. Doesn't count as an ace if you get a couple hits on it. At least that's how I was told to score it. So instead of an offensive stat, an ace for Chamberlain, it's a defensive stat and a hitting error for Stanley County. 12-10 is the score. And now Stanley County, they get to the net and have an opportunity, and it's hit short by Brecken Hubner. And it is now 13-10 as Stanley County has seen Chamberlain run off 4 in a row. Cubs will serve once again. Jade McQuirk, back row Stanley County. They will move it forward, but an errant pass. Stanley County has the free ball as they work from the back line. Here's Joby Vandenbosch attacking. She finds the hole in the defense and pushes it across and down. Her 4th kill of the night, 14-10. Stanley County trailing Chamberlain by 4 as the Cubs have the lead and continue to work in serve as they push it to the back row. Receive made, trouble. But Stanley County will run it down. They'll push it back across. Here's the attack by Chamberlain from Joby Vandenbosch. Dig made Stanley County. Norman at the net attacks. Now it is set at the net for Maisie Peterson, and she mishit it, but it worked as it caught the defense, caught the corner, and goes down. And now Stanley County will use their first time out of the match, and it comes here in set number 2. 15-10. Chamberlain leading, and we'll pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Farm Coach.
Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierce, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
Futures aren't new.
Another Agtegra timeout as we work our way through set number 2. Stanley County won the opening set 25-16. It is 15-10. Chamberlain leading here in set number 2 as they try to even this match at a set apiece. Again, a little bit of extra time just because it's a little bit warm here. They're the officials doing a good job of just even an extra few seconds to just get that last drink of water and just a little bit more rest. And Chamberlain pushing it back the other way. Nice attack from Amelia Lapointe, and that's her 4th kill of the evening. And that makes it 16-10 Stanley County starting now to take control of this of set number 2. Stanley County tries to regroup. Hubner the other way. Lapointe with the dig as they work it back, and now a double hit. Hitting errors, Chamberlain. Point for Stanley County. That ends the scoring run. At Stanley County, though, trailing by 5 as they have some work to do. Austin Norman will check out. Checking into the match for Stanley County is Emerson Forrest, the 5'4 sophomore. She will rotate to the back line to serve. Stanley County trails by 5 as the serve works here. Vanden Bosch with the receive. They push it forward. The attack of the net, a looper dug out by Hansen, but it goes out of bounds. She ran it down. She had to run a long ways and tried to push it backwards, but could not. We'll score that as a kill for Chamberlain, and that'll be another kill for Amelia LaPointe, and that's her 5th of the match. 17-11 as Chamberlain puts it in play once again. Nice receive there by Hansen. They set it for Hubner, and that is through the block and down. Brecken with another kill. That is her 6th of the night. Stanley County starting to come around a little bit on the offensive end in this second set, but still trailing by 5. It's 17-12. Hubner rotates to the back line to put it in play. Brecken with the overhand. Vanden Bosch will receive it. They'll duel at the net, and a whistle and a net violation. They're going to call a lift on Chamberlain. And that will give the point to Stanley County. The deficit now is at 4. 17-13. The overhand is across. Chamberlain set for Vanden Bosch, and she pushes it short. A nice pass to receive there, but Jovi had the run to the net, but just could not get it pushed across. And some of these players, you've seen both teams substitute quite a bit, but Vanden Bosch is a player for Chamberlain as an ace goes across and down from Brecken Hubner. But some of these players, Hubner, one of them for Stanley County, Jovi Vanden Bosch, one that I keep in mind for Chamberlain. They have been out there for just about every point of this match. And again, rather warm here. Maisie Peterson will push the other way. Good job by Stanley County trying to dig it out. They dig, move it forward, but can't get it across. So on the third hit, it goes into the net and turns out to be a hitting error for Stanley County. And the side out will go back to Chamberlain. 18-15. As this is Trey Spears serving. Hansen with the receive back row. They'll set it up top. Jerea Walker with a good attack. Vanden Bosch with a nice dig. Here's Chamberlain with a free ball back the other way. Hansen trying to set it up top, but a double hit from Stanley County as Carly Brady tried to set it up, but just was a little bit too close to the net. Grazed the net a little bit and then wound up trying to recover and could not. 19-15 Chamberlain. Spear again, putting it in play. The one-timer on the return for Stanley County is across. Here is Vanden Bosch down the line, and that's across and down for the 5'6" senior. 20-15 now. Chamberlain trying to win their first set of this young season and trying to tie this match at a game apiece. The Spear puts it in play back row. Hansen trying to keep it in play and cannot, and that will be an ace for Trey Spear. That's her first of the evening, the third for Chamberlain, the first of this second set. It has been their offense that has done the damage for Chamberlain here in set number 2. A Spear with a looping serve this time. Stanley County will serve it up. Free ball from Walker is across. Chamberlain will dig. Here's Natalie Nelson at the net, and that's through the Jerea Walker block and down. Natalie Nelson with kill number 4. 22-15 Chamberlain. Stanley County does have another timeout in their pocket here as we work our way forward. They already used one timeout. I think Chamberlain used a timeout. Yes, they did in this opening or the second set as well. Here is a return by Stanley County that is across. Chamberlain will set it. Vanden Bosch pushes it to the back row, and it's long and out of bounds. Hitting error for Chamberlain gives the side out back to Stanley County and an opportunity for them. Not a lot of margin for error, but get a chance to try to do some damage and serve. You just want to be able to get into a little bit of a rhythm with the serve game. And back in the match is Mila Keefe. Mila with the cross-court serve there, and it's an ace. Her second ace of set number 2. 22-17. The deficit is 5 now. Mila with a little bit of speed that time that just grazed the net. She will again push it right down the sideline there, and it is dug out by Chamberlain, but right at the net, and Jerea Walker drops the hammer. And she pushes it back across and down. 22-18. Stanley County has scored 3 in a row. We'll see what Mila Keefe wants to do. The officials are going to have a little bit of a conversation at the net. I'm not sure what we were doing. I think Sarah Gary just wanted a little bit of a clarification on the call, and perhaps they were thinking that maybe Walker had got over the net, but did not. So they serve it up. Chamberlain pushes it the other way on the return. Here's Walker with a nice, well-placed shot there. It's across and down. Stanley County regrouping. The deficit is at 3. And a timeout taken by Chamberlain. 22-19 Cubs lead as we work in set number 2. And again, we'll pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
When you are busy taking, they're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
Graham Tire of Pierre.
Again, high school football this Saturday or this Thursday and Friday on KPLO. Thursday night, it will be Jones County hosting Faith with a 7 o'clock kickoff here on KPLO. Served by Stanley County, returned by Chamberlain back across. Here is Stanley County as they set the play. Free ball from Addie Deal is across to the Chamberlain side. There's Natalie Nelson with a hard hit shot dug out by Stanley County. They'll set it up top to Walker, blocked there by Nelson, but Stanley County will push it back across. Lady Buffaloes trail by 3 as Chamberlain attacks. Here's Stanley County at the net, blocked this time. And a nice play made, and again, it's Amelia Lapointe who has made several nice plays for Chamberlain here in this match, and none bigger than that one as that ends the rally for Stanley County. And Chamberlain will work with a 4-point lead, T-2, if you will, needing 2 points to secure this second set win. 23-19 as Chamberlain serves. Stanley County with the return. Here's Vanden Bosch attacking. Back row dig is made by Stanley County. They'll set it up top, and here's Addie Deal trying to go down the sideline and hits it wide and out of bounds. And game point at 24-19 belongs to Chamberlain. Serving for the Cubs, Jada Brown. Back across, a little miscommunication back row, but Stanley County keeps it alive. Here is a looping set, but it is short of the net, and another hitting error will give the point to Chamberlain, and they will win set number 2 by a 25-19 score. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page. Shop online anytime at DarrenBoyleSales.com. We'll be back in 2 minutes on KPLO.
The best one-stop
Your hometown shop specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy a hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Wind Circle.
Pier Fort Pier. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Stanley County Buffalo football team will be in action on Friday night. They will christen this new football field the new and turf type Ole Williamson Field. And that game against Parkston will be on 1060 KGFX. Justin Cowart with the call of that one. Available online at the KGFX page at drgnews.com. But a beautiful looking football field here at Ole Williamson Field in Fort Pierre. And it should be a great opportunity for these kids to play some high school football. Should be a fun atmosphere on Friday night. We will be in Miller as the Rustlers, Miller Highmore Herald, will host Hot Springs. And we'll kick off early. It'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff on KPLO. Chamberlain will serve to start set number 3, and a drop ball there and serve from Jade McQuirks across and down. Chamberlain got their offense going. 12-5 kill advantage was the difference there in that second set as they came away with the victory. Here, back-to-back service aces from Jade McQuirk. And Chamberlain trying to get the advantage here. A very pivotal set for the serve, or pardon me, Stanley County will receive the serve. Chamberlain is there, and right there is Maisie Peterson to just drop it down. The receive from Stanley County winds up right at the net. Peterson was able to reach over and knock it down. So it's a quick 3-0 lead, and now Stanley County struggling to receive the serve from Chamberlain, but they'll get it across. Here are the Cubs. Peterson at the net. Hard hit ball, hit long and out of bounds. Stanley County is on the scoreboard here in set number 3. It is now 3-1 Chamberlain. And for Stanley County, it is Carly Brady who puts it in play, and that serve is wide and out of bounds. Both teams, all in all, with the number of points that we have had, have served to a decent percentage. For Stanley County, just their 5th service error of the evening. As Chamberlain will serve it up once again, and back row, some miscommunication and an ace from Nicole Schmidt. That is the 3rd ace of this set, which gives them the lead. Stanley County looking to return the serve. Back up top to Brecken Hubner. Hard hit ball, but just wide, not out of bounds. Knew where she wanted to go, but missed it by that much. As it goes past the back line, a hard hit ball that just turns into a hard hit hitting error. And the point will belong to Chamberlain, who have now worked their way out to a 6-1 lead early in this 3rd set. Cubs will put it in play once again. Back row, Stanley County, the set up top, and this time it is Hubner who dumps it across and down. Are they going to call her for a net violation? They're going to call her for a net violation. Point will belong to to Chamberlain. So the Cubs now with a 7-1 lead. As it is Nicole Schmidt who puts it in play, and that serve is an ace. And a timeout taken by Stanley County here early in set number 3. Fast start for the Cubs. It's 8-1 Chamberlain. And we'll pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Since 1995, we combine quality customer service and experience with the right technology to meet your needs. Our cybersecurity certified technicians will make sure your systems are secure. Services offered are video and DIC cabling, service and support years of combined network design and
in a virtual straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. Yeah, welcome those of you joining us on the KPLO page at drgnews.com. Our video tonight, courtesy of our friends at Live Ticket TV. We encourage you to check us out. We will stream all of our high school sporting events throughout the season. As the Chamberlain again will service live. From at the net, and they hit it short. From at the net, and they hit it short. A back and forth volley there. Finally. A back and forth volley there. Finally, won by Stanley County, who pick up their second point of set number 3. Austin Norman will check out. Checking in for Stanley County is Emerson Forrest to serve. And already Stanley County finds themselves a little work to do. Forrest will serve. It is themselves a little work to do. Forrest will serve. It is Herman from the back row, and as they work it forward, Chamberlain miscommunicates and commits their 16th hitting error of the night. 9-3, Chamberlain leading. Stanley County continues in serve. The sophomore Emerson Forrest puts it in play. Vandenbosch back row. Herman trying to push it forward and can't. The point will clear it as they get back to the Stanley County side. Here's Hubner with a free ball back to the Cub area as Vandenbosch grazes the net but gets it across. Hansen setting, deal the other way. Nice dig made by Vandenbosch. Herman with a nice athletic play, but it goes off the roof structure here at Parkview Gym, and that's a hitting error for Chamberlain. Every one of these gymnasiums, when you play volleyball in these flat roof buildings like what we have here, every one of them plays a little bit different, but for the most part, if you hit it off the roof structure, it's a hitting error and it's out of play. So Stanley County serve. Chamberlain regroups, pushes it back. Quick return by the Lady Buffaloes. And the ball in the hands of Amelia LaPointe. And again, she'll push it back across and down. Another kill for Chamberlain as they will work the side out and enjoy a 6-point advantage. Cubs will serve as they work it back the other way, leading by 6. Here's Hubner the other way. The point with the dig. Chamberlain will set it. Vandenbosch with a rocket that is too long and out of play. That was probably one of the hardest hit balls that we have had tonight. But it was past the back row by a good stretch. And will be a hitting error for Chamberlain. And it will be a point for Stanley County. They trail by 5. 10-5 Chamberlain as Brecken Hubner puts it in play. And here is Chamberlain on the return. Vandenbosch will Stanley County trying to stage a little bit of a comeback here as their deficit sets at 4 after Stanley County saw Chamberlain get off to a big and fast start here in this third set. Hubner serving. Herman back row with the receive. Back up top of the point. Nice hard hit ball. Well placed in a good angle. Amelia LaPointe will score another kill. That is 7 for her. 11-6 Chamberlain. As the side out will go back to the Cubs. The Cubs will go to their bench as we'll see Jada Brown in to serve. LaPointe will check out. She's had some good moments in this match for Chamberlain, and here is a serve by Brown that is hit short. First service error of set number 3 for Chamberlain. The ball in the hands of Stanley County. And Mila Keefe back in to serve for the Lady Buffaloes, who again trail by 4, trying to work their way back. Keefe with the serve. Back row, it's Herman. They move it forward to Nelson. Overhand the other way. Keefe will dig. They'll set it up top. Jerea Walker with a hard hit ball. And that's hard to handle for Chamberlain, and that'll be a kill for Jerea Walker. Her 4th of the night. 11-8. Chamberlain's lead is 3. Stanley County will continue to. Vandenbosch will attack. Hansen will dig. It winds up at the net. Will duel there. On the Chamberlain side, they'll try to work the other way. It is Nelson. Now Hansen will dig, and that is out of play, and that's a kill for Natalie Nelson. That is her 5th of the night. 12-8. The lead back to Chamberlain. Somebody opened the door. It's a nice little hint of cool air that we feel here at Parkview Gym. It has been hot all evening long. Jovi Vanden Bosch will serve. Pushes it to the back row. Here is Jerea Walker. And she hits it wide and out of bounds. Had the right idea. An open spot of the floor. Good area to hit to, but hit it wide and out of bounds. Hitting error, Stanley County, point for Chamberlain. They push it back to a 5-point lead. And here is Vanden Bosch once again. Hansen back row. Back to Stanley County as they work it back across. Daddy Deal attacks. Quick return by Chamberlain. Walker pushes it back the other way. Here's a return by Carly Brady. Back up top. Nelson trying to push the other way. And with a left-handed shot, she gets it across and down. Athletic play for the junior Natalie Nelson. 14-8 now. Chamberlain back out in front by a half dozen. Vanden Bosch will serve. That's a hard hit ball there. Brianna Sargent will receive it as Stanley County works it across. Now Chamberlain having a little bit of trouble, and they get 3 hits on it, but cannot clear it out. A hitting error will end the run and serve for the Cubs, and it will go back to Stanley County. 14-9. Lead to Chamberlain. Force Nelson. Overhand. One official says it's in. Have a conversation as a kill. That'll be your third kill of this set. 15-9, the lead to Chamberlain, as the serving will be Sadie Herman. And here is Stanley County trying to get on a little bit of a rally here, and we're going to have a net violation on Chamberlain. So a net violation is, there were several players there, but in the end, it turned out it was Chamberlain who got into the net. So Stanley County will come away with the point. Brecken Hubner will check in, and Timber Hansen will serve for Stanley County. Here is Maisie Peterson. She'll push it the other way, and that's across and down. And if there has been, as we work basically midway through set number 3, Chamberlain has found themselves in the last couple sets being able to get into system, that bump, set, spike type of system a little bit more than Stanley County has been able to. Here is a bad serve, a fault, if you will, in serve, as Jade McQuirk was well over the line when she served. So that'll be a service error for Chamberlain and a point for Stanley County. You don't see that very often, but that one was a good step or so past the line, and now Stanley County serving, and they will hit it long and out of play. Side out will be back to Chamberlain once the ball is retrieved. It gets away and winds up on the Stanley County side. We'll wait for Sadie Herman to tie a shoe. Back to the Chamberlain side for Nicole Schmidt putting it in play. It's 17-11 Chamberlain as Schmidt will serve. Back row, Stanley County moving it forward. Deal from the back row has to try to clear it off of an errant pass, and it will go into the net. It'll be a hitting error for the Lady Buffaloes. And Chamberlain has pushed it to a 7-point lead. The freshman Nicole Schmidt serving. 3 service aces on the night, and a service error there as she hits it short. 18-12, Chamberlain leading. Back to the Stanley County side. Austin Norman will check out. Checking back in will be Emerson Forrest for Stanley County, who would like to be able to in a side out, and 6 points might be a stretch, but you'd like to get 2 or 3 in a row just to kind of change the momentum a little bit if you could. And here is Stanley County with a nice attack the other way, but Vanden Bosch is there with the dig for Chamberlain. Now LaPointe with a nice hit. Then Stanley County will dig out and push back the other way. Herman with the dig up top. Maisie Peterson to the back row. Dig made by Stanley County. Here is a nice attack on the set for Chamberlain, but Stanley County will dig, and they'll push it back, and a lift is called. Jerea Walker tried to get up with both hands and grab that ball, but she really just kind of grabbed it and threw it. That's illegal. A 2-hand hit is fine, but she kind of grabbed it and tried to direct it. That turns out to be a hitting error and a rally ending play that will give the point to Stanley County, or to Chamberlain. It's 19-12. Cubs lead as they serve once again. And here's Brecken Hubner softly across. Dig made by Nelson. They'll set it for Natalie. She'll push it back the other way. Back row, Stanley County. They'll set it for Addie Deal. She'll try to go across court with the angle, but Chamberlain is there to dig it out and push it back the other way. Stanley County again will set. Hanson will go to Deal, who pushes it back across. And now Chamberlain with an opportunity. Vandenbosch the other way. That's across and down. Joby Vandenbosch with kill number 6, 20-12. Stanley County trailing by 8 now, as the volleyball that time wound up at the upper level here at Parkview Gym. But it is retrieved and sent back, and now Stanley County will see Chamberlain search in there. They push it back the other way. Chamberlain will set it up, and at the net is an opportunity for Jade McQuirk, and normally the setter, she saw an open spot and was able to just net again. They'll lead of this third set for Chamberlain, as Trey Spear once again serves it across off the net. Tough to handle, but Stanley County will regroup and steal the other way, and she makes a nice play. Addie Deal will score her 4th kill of the night as she hit it in amongst them in the center of the Chamberlain defense. And that was a nice athletic play made by Stanley County. And Steve, boy, they have a lot of work to do, trailing by 9, and not a lot of points for Chamberlain needed to come away with the victory. But Stanley County here will prevail. Another hitting error for the Cubs. 22-14. It is Brecken Hubner once again. Back row, it is Herman with the receive. They work it forward to Vandenbosch. The overhead shot the other way. Jerea Walker with the cross court. Dig made. Vandenbosch down the line. And that is a kill for Joby Vandenbosch. Kill number 7, 23-14. Chamberlain needs 2 to go up 2-1. After Stanley County won the first set 25-16, Chamberlain won the second set 25-19 as they got their offense going. And now, an opportunity here, a couple more points. Chamberlain could go up 2-1. The Cubs put it in play. In system for Stanley County. Hard hit ball for Deal. Chamberlain will dig it out back row. Vandenbosch will attack. It's blocked by Stanley County, but out of bounds. So Joby Vandenbosch with another kill, and it's game point at 24-14. There's Jada Brown serving. She'll send it to the back row. Hanson to Stanley County as they'll push the other way, and a lift is called on Chamberlain. Hitting error for the Cubs. It will remain game point, but Stanley County will operate and serve with a 9-point deficit. Mila Keefe serving. 5'8" sophomore back in. She's done some good things in serve. Stanley County needs to go on a little bit of a run, and a service ace is set across. That is the 3rd of the night for the 5'8" sophomore. And that one with a little bit of a spin, kind of a cross-court shot. We've seen a little bit of everything. Speed-wise, angle-wise, side spin there. Again, tough to handle. Chamberlain, though, will regroup and get it across. Keefe with the dig. Now a free ball from Stanley County is back the other way. Here is Chamberlain, and Natalie Nelson will hit it short. And a hitting error for Chamberlain. 4-17 Cubs lead in set number 3. And again, we'll pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Imagine what it would look like.
Your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers. And keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com.
The John F. DRG Media Group's World Headquarters. I'm Darren Boyle. We thank you for joining us tonight. We welcome you back to Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre as we are in the final points of set number 3. Both teams have won a set. Stanley County won the first. Chamberlain won the second. The Cubs with a 7-point lead in set number 3, but Stanley County trying to rally as the Lady Buffaloes will serve. Here's Joby Vandenbosch with the attack the other way. Mila Keefe with the dig. Stanley County scrambling. Nice play by Jerea Walker to get it across. Here is Natalie Nelson attacking for Chamberlain. And now Stanley County tries to push it the other way, and it's on the wrong side of the antenna, and a hitting error for Stanley County. From Darren Boyle Sales, check.
We make all sorts of vehicle loan.
I love to know your name, but
with our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Hawaii Federal Bank.
Do you have a new pair of jeans or a favorite shirt with a small tear or hole? Or your winter coat has a broken zipper? Don't throw them away. Call Lila Briggs Sewing and Embroidery in Fort Pierre to have your items fixed as good as new. They also provide hemming, other sewing services, as well as custom embroidery for a truly professional look and design. Good luck in the school year.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Get their offense going. The Cubs with 12 kills in the second set, 9 more kills in set number 3, and they won both those sets by 25-19 and 25-17 scores. Stanley County, who, well, all in all, when you look at the number of hitting errors, that was going to be something that both teams were just going to have to deal with and try to improve on as they work here early in the season. But Stanley County just not been able to get the offense going as Chamberlain has in the last couple sets. It will be Stanley County who will serve to get the opportunities that we have had tonight. That is just the 7th hitting error, service error. We shook the hand of Jade McQuirk and a long side out in set number 1 that got Stanley County out in front for good, but that serve goes into the net. Another hitting error for Stanley County. And you look at things from the conditioning standpoint, and as we have went through the evening here, we mentioned the temperature, no AC here at Parkview Gym, and it's getting hot. Especially, it has been hot, and it has been a grind for us here. Vandenbosch with the receive. They'll set it up top. It's a deal with kill number 5 tonight. 3-2 Stanley County. One thing that early in the season, a lot of times early in the season, you see those 3-game sweeps, but you get into a situation like this as we work here in set number 4. If you're TJ Dragosek, your team down 2-1, what you want to see is a little fight back capability. As Chamberlain with another hitting error as they push it into the net. Stanley County with a 4-2 lead, but Sarah Gary as well, the head coach of Chamberlain. You want to be able to see how your team responds and what kind of grit they have. And this is going to be one of those matches, although it's early in the season, but it's one of those that's going to kind of could possibly set the tone on the year. Here's Addie Deal attacking for Stanley County. Chamberlain with the dig attempt back row, and Nicole Schmidt hits it off the net. That will be a kill for Deal. And we are going to have an early timeout here by Chamberlain, in set number 4. It is 5-2 Stanley County, and we will pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Farmco 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
For over 70 years,
they remind you acres ahead. 1 remains in the broadcast booth here at Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre. 5-2 is correct. And 2 staled out And the hitting error for Chamberlain gives the point to Stanley County, and the Lady Buffaloes have a 6-point lead. Here's Maisie Peterson with a cross-court shot that's down for Chamberlain. Maisie's done some damage throughout the evening. That's kill number 4 for her. Side out back to the Cubs. Trey Spear will check in. Peterson will check out. Also, Sadie Herman will check out of the match for the moment. As Spear will put it in play off the net. Tough handle for Stanley County, but they will. Free ball from Timber Hansen is across, and now Chamberlain will set the play at the net. Natalie Nelson hammers it, but hits it long and out of bounds. Another hitting error for Chamberlain. That is 5 of them here in set number 4. And that has helped Stanley County work their way out to a 9-3 advantage. Side out once again for them. And Myla Keefe will check back in. The crafty right-hander. But the serve here, a low line drive, and it's an ace. I'm telling you, velocity-wise, she has set it all across, and now Chamberlain having a little bit of trouble. They cannot receive. They get 3 hits on it, so the ace won't count. But again, a timeout taken by Chamberlain, their final timeout of set number 4. And we will take a 30-second break and return. This is coverage of regional high school volleyball on KPLO.
When you are busy taking in all the areas,
has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitts Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
This is what
Of course, we will have the big play of the game brought to you by the folks at Golden Buffalo. We will have to figure out in our own mind the player of the game, and that is brought to you by CHS River Plains. We'll give out super cool t-shirts to our player of the game tonight. Myla Keefe serving. Another hard serve to handle, but Chamberlain will dig it out. They'll push it back with a free ball. And now Stanley County will set at the net. Eddie Deal has it blocked, but it's sent back. And now they're going to say it came off the net. Chamberlain did not block it. It hit the top of the net, in which from our standpoint, a little hard to see, but it winds up going on the Stanley County side of the net and goes back. And then a 6. As Chamberlain again will work and serve Jada Brown with her second opportunity, and that one is wide and out of bounds. So the side out goes back to Stanley County. Substitutions. Austin Norman in. Emerson Forrest will check out. Back row, the sophomore Addie Deal set to serve. And that serve is across. Chamberlain from the back row to the front. This is Nelson with the hard hit ball the other way. Stanley County trying to set it up. Norman on the set, pushes it to the Chamberlain side on the set there. Chamberlain pushes the other way. Timber Hansen with a nice recovery for Stanley County. Now Chamberlain with Natalie Nelson. This defense went side to side from both sides, but it was Chamberlain who was able to regroup first, and Nelson was able to take advantage of the Stanley County defense. Take it out. They'll set it for Austin, and she hits it short. Hitting error, Stanley County. Point for Chamberlain, and their deficit is at 6. So Stanley County with the fast start here in this 4th set. Chamberlain trying to rally, but really have not been able to string a ton of points together. And here is Chamberlain. As Chamberlain point for the return. Nice shot by Jay. 14-9, Stanley County leading. Checking out will be Jada Brown. Amelia LaPointe will check back in. And here is Jade McQuirk serving. Back row, it's Timber Hansen for Stanley County. She is one of those players that has played a number of minutes, and now whistle and a net violation, Stanley County. And that will give another point to Chamberlain. Cubs have been able to work the deficit to 4. Keep in mind, as we go deeper into this 4th set, Chamberlain is already out of timeout. Stanley County has both of their timeouts left to use. As Stanley County returns it back to the Chamberlain side, here's Maisie Peterson the other way. And Stanley County trying to return it. Austin Norman gets the job done. And a battle at the net. Huebner with the attack. And Chamberlain gets 4 hits on it. And that'll be a hitting error for the Cubs. Point to Stanley County, who will end the Cubs scoring run. 15-10, Stanley County leading. And this is the junior Austin Norman who will serve. Back row, Vandenbosch with the receive. 2-hand shove from McQuirk is across. Chamberlain clears it. And now Stanley County the other way. Addie Deal across to Joby Vandenbosch. Chamberlain out of position, so they have to free ball. And now it is Stanley County the other way. Huebner with a hard hit ball, but it is returned by Sadie Herman. They've been going at her. Of course, she's the libero, but they've been hitting it hard to her all night long. And this time, Herman is going to get scored a kill. As on the receive there on the dig, she was able to push it back, and it's across and down as Stanley County pushes it into the net. 15-11, Stanley County as the Cubs serve. And here's Stanley County working in the net. Deal the other way. McQuirk will dig. Herman will set. Vandenbosch from mid-court sends it the other way. And back up top, Huebner. And that was high, but got themselves out of the net. 16-12. Stanley County leads. And Spear with an overhand the other way. Timber tipped at the net. Again, Hansen will the hands of the Chamberlain up. Addie Deal Timberman with a lot of miscommunication, and Jorea Walker was able to sneak out her 5th kill advantage. And back in, Mila Keefe, as she gets set to put it in play. This time, a little speed to the back row it comes. Vandenbosch will dig it out. The attack the other way. Good one from Amelia LaPointe, and that's across and down. Amelia LaPointe with kill number 8. 17-14, Stanley County leading. Chamberlain will get the serve once again as Jada Brown will check in. And Amelia LaPointe will check out. If Stanley County holds on here, we'll go to a 5th and deciding set. Chamberlain trying to come from behind and pick up their first match victory of the season. They are up 2-0. Stanley County struggling, but they do get it across. Here's Vandenbosch with a hard hit ball. Nelson Hansen dives and keeps it alive. Here's Chamberlain again, set up for Vandenbosch, and that's through the defense and down. Joby Vandenbosch with kill number 10, 17-15. Stanley County's lead is down to 2 and a timeout taken. Lady Buffaloes will use their first timeout of set number 4, and we'll take it with them. Lady Buffaloes lead by 2, and we're back in 30 seconds on KPLO.
The best one-stop for hunting.
This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Stanley County won the opening set 25-16. Chamberlain has won the last 2 sets. Set number 2 by a 25-19 score. 25-17 the score in set number 3. Cubs are up 3-1, but trail here in this 4th set. Stanley County with a 17-15 lead. Lady Buffaloes got off to a fast start in this 4th set. Chamberlain has slowly but surely scrambled their way back as they try to get closer. They get it across. The return by Stanley County, a one-timer. Vandenbosch the other way over the top of the defense. Stanley County will dig and attack. Jorea Walker with a hard hit ball. Back across it comes as we volley. And in the end, won by Stanley County. Play that Chamberlain could not handle. Lady Buffaloes push it back to a 3 defense and comes back around the horn. This is Natalie Nelson. Across and down off of a wild pass from Jade McQuirk, but Nelson was able to handle it. Natalie with her 10th kill of night. Good things that both of these teams are going to be able to talk about. And some things that they can definitely clean up, of course, but this has been a hard-fought match as Joby Vandenbosch serves long. Service error for Chamberlain, and then Timber Hansen with a serve that is long for Stanley County. 19-17, still a 2-point game as we get deeper into this fourth set. Here's Sadie Herman, the libero, serving for Chamberlain at the net. They duel, and Stanley County will prevail. Brecken Hubner will score the point. She was tangled up there with Maisie Peterson, but Hubner was able to get it through. Stanley County 20, Chamberlain 17. Harley Brady serving. Back row, it's Vandenbosch. Kept alive. Tough pass to handle. Can Chamberlain get it across? They cannot. On the third hit, it is hit short. 21-17 now. Back-to-back points scored by the Lady Buffaloes. Harley Brady serving. Back row it comes. Vandenbosch. They'll push it forward. Set for Maisie Peterson. And that is down for a kill. Maisie Peterson pushes it through for Maisie, kill number 6. 21-18. Side out back to Chamberlain. Cubs will go to their bench as we will see Jade McQuirk check out, check back in. She's in to serve, and now it's Hubner attacking, blocked by Maisie Peterson, and a nice defensive play. That is the first, what I would call a defensive. Now, I score is a defensive block that results in a point. There could be a ton of blocks back and forth, but that resulted in a point there for Maisie Peterson as she sent the attack back, and now Chamberlain will serve short, and a service error for them makes it 22-19. And Stanley County just now 3 points away from securing this fourth set. As Stanley County will get a chance to serve, and Emerson Forrest will check back in. And she will serve and put it in play. Herman back row for Chamberlain. Back up front, Nicole Schmidt attacking, but she hits it long and out of bounds. 23-19. Stanley County leading. Emerson Forrest will serve once again. Back row Chamberlain, a little miscommunication. They're having a little trouble, and now a free ball back the other way. Hansen with the dig for Stanley County, back to the Chamberlain side. Cubs will attack, and somehow Jade McQuirk is able to get it through and across and down. 23-20. Stanley County's lead is at 3. The serve will belong to the Cubs, and it's Nicole Schmidt, the freshman, who will put it in play. And the serve back across. And that is off the basketball backboard and down and out of the reach of Stanley County. And that will be scored an ace for Nicole Schmidt. 23-21. Schmidt will serve it up once again. To the back row, Hansen. Stanley County moving it forward. Set for deal, and it is blocked and sent back. Defensive play made for Amelia LaPointe. 23-22, Stanley County with a 2-point advantage. Nicole Schmidt will serve once again, and that's an ace. 5th ace of the night for Nicole Schmidt, and a timeout taken, Stanley County. 23-23 in set number 4. And we will take a third.
Have been for 100 years or so. How we get that done? Well, that won't always be the same. But why we connect people? Not in a million years is that ever going to change. We didn't build.
Also brought to you by Integra. Acres Ahead maximizes your funds throughout this fourth set, but Nicole Schmidt hits the serve short and into the net. Game point and serve. To the back. To the Chamberlain side it comes. Cubs with a free ball from Maisie Peterson across. Stanley County will focus. Jerea Walker, 2-hand push. Dive by Vandenbosch. Chamberlain attacks and gets it across. Quick return from the Lady Buffaloes. Bounce. We're tied at 24. Service error for... And again. Service error for... And again. And this 3-ball lead for the first time here in set number 4. And it will be Jada Brown who will serve. Brown with the overhand to the back row. Receive made by Addie Deal. Hanson now the other way, and Stanley County cannot clear it. And now it's 26-25 Chamberlain, and this will make it match point. 26-25. If Chamberlain can get the point here, they'll pick up their third victory and win this one as they push it back the other way. Hanson clear back to the line to receive it. Jerea Walker the other way. And Walker will score it. A nice play there for Jerea Walker. Pushes it back across and down, 26-26. Got to win by 2. So game point, match point, not in the equation here. As Addie Deal will look to serve it up for Stanley County. Deal right. Hitting error Chamberlain. Game point, Stanley. The serve will work the other way. Receive made by the Vandenbosch. She will attack the other way, and she gets into the net. And a net violation by Chamberlain will give the point to Stanley County, and they will win set number 4 by a 28-26 score. And we will go to a decisive set number 5 in the race to 15. Scoreboard on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Check it all out at DarrenBoyleSales.com. We'll take a 2-minute break. Set number 5 is next on KPLO.
First Dakota in the summer heat, but can your parts keep up? At Grossenberg, we're rolling out our August filter sale so you can stock up and keep your machines running smooth. Now, through the end of the month, save 16% on John Deere and Fleet Guard filter. Take advantage of this deal while it lasts.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Service Master of Pierre is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pierre is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Govs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
That moment when
going to be a number of hitting errors. Chamberlain with 36 hitting errors, 31 for Stanley County. Chamberlain has dominated the kill department, 41-23, the kill advantage for Chamberlain, but Stanley County has been able to just continue to battle. And a nice win for them, 28-26 in set number in serve for the Lady Buffaloes, Carly Brady, who sends across the with a hard hit ball, get in system, and I'm able to do a Chamberlain will dig it out. They'll push the other way, getting it through the defense and down. Amelia Lapointe with another kill. That's her 9th of the night, and she has had a nice match for Chamberlain. 2-1 Cubs lead. Again, we go to 15 in set number 5. And again, both teams with 2 timeouts. Serve the other way as an ace. And as we get deeper into this match, we should probably mention, not only is it warm in here, we have played a lot of points. And both of these teams starting to wear down a little bit, especially when you see it on the service end. And there is a serve that is wide and out of bounds off the hand of Jade McQuirk. We'll mention it, but we won't harp on it because it's something the other way. Cubs will dig it out. They'll easy Pete Chamberlain across Chamberlain's side. Stanley will clear, and back to the Chamberlain side we come. 3-2, the lead to Chamberlain. Now a hitting error by the Cubs. It was one of the longest rallies we've had all night long, but it will work as a Stanley County point, and it will tie the game at 3. Here's Austin Norman serving, and that's an ace. Way back in the opening set, it was Austin Norman who had a long side out and did a good job in serve, keeping the receive game for Chamberlain off balance as they secured that set number 1 victory. She will serve it here as Peterson with a free ball back the other way. Stanley County will set it up. It's Addie Deal to the back row. Vanden Bosch will dig, set up top to Schmidt. They play it off the net and down. Not the hardest hit ball from Nicole Schmidt, but it will count as a kill. It's her second of the night, and it ties things at 4. We play here in the 5th and deciding set. Stanley County won the 1st and 4th sets. Chamberlain won sets number 2 and 3. And here is Chamberlain putting it in play once again. It's Schmidt with the serve to set here. Deal will push the other way, and that's across and down for a kill. Addie Deal with the kill for Stanley County. 5-4. Stanley County leading. Brecken Hubner to the back row. And Brecken with the overhand across. Sadie Herman with the receive. Set up top to Vanden Bosch, and she hits it short. And a timeout taken by Chamberlain. Their first of 2 timeouts here in set number 5. It's 6-4 Stanley County. And again, we'll pause for 30 seconds on KPLO.
See website.
Timeouts are brought to you by Parkview Gym. Brecken Hubner remains in serve. Here is Chamberlain. Nice set play for Maisie Peterson, and she'll push it the other way and down for a kill. Kill number 13, and a good job there by the Cubs to just slow things down and kind of deaden that serve and just slowly work the ball forward and get it across and push it through for a point. The deficit is at 1 for Chamberlain. Trey Spear will put it in play. Back row tips it back. Deal again with an opportunity. Blocked at the net. Stanley County will keep it alive. A free ball is back across. Trey Spear with the dig. Here's Joby Vanden Bosch trying to push. And she will push it wide and out of bounds. Another hitting error, Chamberlain. Point for Stanley County. 7-5, Lady Buffaloes lead. As they earn the serve, and checking in will be Mila Keefe, the sophomore with 4 service aces, as she puts it back in play. Chamberlain has done a much better job of returning that spinning serve as they work it back across. Here's a pass from Stanley County forward to Jorea Walker. But Walker can't send it back the other way. Hitting error, Stanley County, 7-6. Stanley County's lead is at 1 as Chamberlain will work back to serve. It's Jada Brown putting it in play, and here is Stanley County. They work it to the net. Addie Deal, hard hit ball. Tough to handle for Chamberlain, but they will get it across. Here is Stanley County again. They'll set. Walker the other way. Herman with the dig. Back up top. No, an errant pass. Herman has to chase it down and free ball it back to the Stanley County side, and then Stanley County cannot push it back across. Point for the Cubs. They have scored 2 in a row now, and it's 7-7. The 5'2" sophomore Jada Brown will serve once again, and this one is wide and out of bounds. 8-7 Stanley County. Got to win by 2 in this 5th and deciding set. We'll keep that in mind as neither team with a lot of traction here in this 5th set. Stanley County with Addie Deal serving. Once everybody's ready, here we go as Deal serves, and that will go into the net. Just the 11th serving error for Stanley County, and we have played a ton of points here as we operate midway through this 5th and deciding set. Joby Vanden Bosch serving for Chamberlain, and she'll push it to the back row, and that's an ace. Chamberlain has scored 2 points in a row, and for the first time in a while, they find themselves out in front. 29-8, or make it 9-8. And Vanden Bosch will serve once again to the back row. Little trouble for Stanley County, but Jerea Walker with a nice play to get it across. And here is Natalie Nelson. She's able to push it past the defense and down. We'll probably see a timeout from TJ Dragasette, and there you go. 10-8, Stanley County trailing Chamberlain here in set number 5.
Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Lead and the serve as we operate set number 5. Vanden Bosch, Jovi Vanden Bosch from Chamberlain, putting it into play, and Stanley County with trouble in the receive game, and we have not mentioned that in a while, but trouble in the back row and a hitting error for the Lady Buffaloes, and all of a sudden Chamberlain has a 3-point advantage. And Jovi Vanden Bosch has helped Chamberlain score the last 4 in a row. She'll serve it up once again, and again it's an ace. 12-8, and if you're TJ Dragasette, you've got one timeout to use. Do you use it on this point or the next one? There is no margin for error as Chamberlain is 3 points away from the match win. Vanden Bosch will serve. And that serve is across. Here's Stanley County. Walker with a free ball the other way. Chamberlain will set it at the net for Natalie Nelson. Hanson with the dig for Stanley County. Here's Jerea Walker the other way. She hits it long and out of bounds. Wanted a tip, but will not get the call. Hitting error Stanley County. And it is 13-8. And here's Jovi Vanden Bosch once again. Low line drive serve. Stanley County cannot get their offense going. They work it from about the middle of their area as they push it back the other way. Here is Chamberlain. Schmidt with the attack. Walker with an athletic play as she pushes it the other way. Here is Hanson with a diving save play as they push it back to the Chamberlain side. Natalie Nelson trying to go the other way, and she hits it short. Hitting error Chamberlain, but the Cubs have done some damage now as they operate with a 13-9 advantage. They put up 6 in a row before Stanley County was able to serve the side out. Here's Timber Hanson serving as Chamberlain attacks and hits it long and out of bounds. 13-10 now. Stanley County trying to work their way back. They need a rally of their own. Here's Timber Hanson once again as she pushes it to the back row. Vanden Bosch moving it forward. Nelson trying to go wide and hits it short. Another hitting error Chamberlain, and all of a sudden that nice little cushion that the Cubs had has been cut in half, and it's a 2-point game. 13-11. Cubs lead as Hanson serves. And that goes to the back row. Vanden Bosch. They move it forward. Here is Schmidt. Over the top of the defense. Stanley County will keep it alive. Now a whistle. And we are going to have a... what do we have here? The floor official made the call. Called a net violation. And that will give the point to Chamberlain. And just like that, we turn it to match point. It's a hitting error. Stanley County could use that timeout here, but they won't need to. Sadie Herman serving will put the serve into the net. 14-12. It will remain match point unless Stanley County can score the next 2. 14-12 Chamberlain. And in serve, it's Carly Brady. To the back row, Chamberlain. Brown moves it forward. Set up top, Maisie Peterson. It is tipped. Lady Buffaloes will get it across. Chamberlain will set it again. This time it is Schmidt the other way. Kept alive by Hanson. A diving play for Timber. And back across it comes, and at the net, Brecken Hubner sends it across and down. 14-13. Timeout taken for Brecken Hubner. Kill number 10 of the night. And a big play there to make it a 1-point game. Chamberlain will use their final timeout. It is still match point, so we'll keep it right here. As Chamberlain, 1 point away from their first match victory of the season. This has been a very competitive match between both of these teams. We talked coming into the contest about TJ Dragoset and Sarah Gary trying to build volleyball programs basically from the ground up, and they have done that. And some good, entertaining volleyball here tonight to open up our season. As Stanley County, again, it's an ace. You got to win. Break it out. They'll work it for Hubner. Over the top. Hubner, not a... It is Carly Brady with the serve. The overhand, a looper. That is across. Jada Brown with the receive. Back up top. Cubs will attack. Stanley County will dig. Norman with a free ball back the other way. They'll deal at the net and a nice shot across. Good play made there on the set by Jade McQuirk. She has done that several times tonight. And that's her 6th kill of the evening. The majority of those kills have came in that same play on the set, pushing it where the defense isn't. So again, match point is off the board. And here is Chamberlain serving once again. Stanley County on the return, and it's Hubner who hits it long and out of bounds. Match point Stanley County. 16-15, timeout taken by the Lady Buffalo. 16-15 is our score, and again, we'll keep it here as we are at match point. We'll have high school football for you on Thursday, as it will be Jones County hosting Faith. It will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have our pregame at around 6:40 for Murdo, and then on Friday night, as we kick off the Labor Day weekend, matchup in high school football from Miller, as Miller Highmore Herald will host Hot Springs. That game will get underway at 6 o'clock Central Time, 5:40 with the pregame. A little bit of an earlier start because it's a long way home from those Hot Springs folks, and we'll have that game for you on Friday night on KPLO. Here it is match point. 16-15, Chamberlain leading Stanley County. And Chamberlain in serve. It is Jade McQuirk serving. Back row Hansen for Stanley County, up top and through the defense and blocked and down. The block from Amelia Lapointe, and Chamberlain will prevail in this one, 17-15 and set number 5. And the Cubs will get the match victory in what has been a dandy season opener for both of these teams. Scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online at DarrenBoyleSales.com. Post game is next. We're back in 3 minutes on KPLO.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
John Hoffman ourselves on keeping up with new technologies such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is
sharing the history of life by providing here. Bang.
No job is for our customers is how fast they get the job done. They rely on your allies.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned in Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites. Call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Do you want to join one of the oldest established organizations in Fort Pierre? Perhaps you are more interested in protecting the future. Whatever your position, the Fort Pierre Volunteer Fire Department is for you. We are responsible for fire protection in Fort Pierre and Stanley County. Become part of this amazing team by stopping down at the fire hall and discussing enrollment. We are not just limited to adults, as we have a new cadet program for students ages 14 to 18. For more information, click on our banner ad on the homepage. From everyone at the fire hall, go Buffs!
Out here, you
As our post started out our season with a 5-set thriller. Chamberlain wins the fifth and deciding set 17-15, and this is something both teams can build on, as this happened very, very early in the regular season run. It was Stanley County who got things going in the opening set, as they were able to take advantage of Chamberlain, who struggled offensively in the first set, and taking advantage of some hitting errors. And Stanley County was able to do some things with 6 kills in the opening set. They built up a 25-16 lead, but Chamberlain was able to get their offense settled down. And when they did that, they were able to control the kill stat with that. They had 12 kills in set number 2, as they won that second set by a 25-19 score. A similar scenario in set number 3, as Chamberlain outkilled Stanley County by a 9-4 count and won the third set 25-17. It really put the pressure on Stanley County. And as we mentioned through the broadcast, both of these coaches wanted to kind of see what kind of grit they had, and Stanley County showed it, as they came back and won that fourth set 28-26. Both teams fought off points. Stanley County fought off match points on a couple occasions. Chamberlain, they wound up where Stanley County 46 got us to a fifth into some teams. And as we look at Chamberlain with the kill advantage, able to do some damage in the serve department, especially late. Chamberlain just able to do what they needed to do offensively that allowed them to win sets 2 and 3, that kind of gave them a little cushion to give up that fourth and deciding set, but still able to. Hubner with 10 kills, Addie Deal with 7, Mila Keefe with 4 service aces to lead the way for the Lady Buffaloes. For Chamberlain, they had 2 different players in double figures. Natalie Nelson with 11 kills, Joey Vandenbosch with 10 kills, 9 for Amelia LaPointe, 5 service aces for Nicole Schmidt. To our big play of the game, and it's brought to you by the folks at Golden Buffalo.
The KPLO Sports Big Play of the Game is brought to you by your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule, where you can play big. The Golden Buffalo Casino is proud of all our area youth and all of their accomplishments in activities. Your winning...
Well, you look at the big play of the game, and we talked about how Stanley County got off, just about played maximum points in the final 2 sets, 28-26 in set number 4. 6 teams in their first match of the season, and brought to you by CHS River Plains.
Hello, this is Gunnar Hansen Essential. We're paying close attention to those corn on corn acres and soybean fields that have white mold or sunflower cropping history. To protecting your acres from diseases on your mind, please contact your local CHS agronomist for more information. We're always here to help at CHS.
10 kills on the night. Jovi Vandenbosch, 10 kills for Chamberlain. Natalie Nelson with 11 kills on the night for the Cubs. But we're going to go with Amelia LaPointe as our player of the game. Amelia, the 5'6" junior, she had 9 kills, 4 blocks, and those were big as we went down at CHS River Plains. Again, high school football coming your way for Thursday night on KPLO. 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:40 pregame. Antlers will host Hot Springs, and that game will tip off at 6. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to not text and drive. There is no end, and you've got some.